Hi, and welcome to the Passion Project. I'm your host, Coach Richard Bacon. And you know me, I love champions. And I have the Class 6A State Championship Wrestling team from Arlington Martin and head coach, Coach Patrick Dunn. And we're going to start with Coach Dunn and let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about him.
I'm Coach Dunn. I'm married. I have 4 kids. I have 2 in college and 2 coming through the high school here pretty quick. And I'm the head coach at Arlington Martin High School.
How long, Coach?
I've been there since 2004, so 20 years.
20 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Yes, sir.
My name is Landon Collins. I'm class of 2026, and I've wrestled at 138 this year.
My name is Zeke. I'm class of 2025, and I wrestled 132 this year.
My name is Isaac Revla. I'm class of 2025. I wrestled at 120.
All right. Got all the champ. Oh, and this right here, let me introduce you to it. This is what you get when you win it all. That's the state championship trophy. You know, only one school got that in Class 6A this year. And I'm sitting up here amongst all these guys with the gold. All right, so Coach, we're gonna start. I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Coach, so then we can bounce it around the guys.
Sounds good.
You can kind of get them relaxed a little bit.
Okay.
And by the way, I've known Coach for quite a while, but didn't put the 2 and 2 together. I heard that he had won state championship when I had Coach Brian on the show from Arlington Seguin, but didn't put 2 and 2 together. His daughter and my daughter played club volleyball together.
Yes.
I don't know how many years.
For a while.
For a while. We were traveling all over this country.
Yes, we were.
Watching
Yes.
them play volleyball. So it's good to have you on the show, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Coach, we're going to start with you first. Tell us a little bit about your accomplishments since you've been at Martin. You say you've been there 20 years, like I got 17 state championship teams, Coach. You know, whatever you want to let us know regarding your stay at Martin. And any other school that you were at prior to coming to Martin.
Okay. Well, I started coaching at the Woodlands High School. Yeah, I was there for 4 years. We won 4 district titles, a regional championship, and we're state runners up my last year there.
And that was at the Woodlands?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. I coached 9 state champs in the 4 years that I was there. Then I moved up to Martin in 2004. Since I've been at Arlington Martin, we've won 17 district titles, 13 regional titles, 8 dual meet state championships, and 1 UIL state championship with 11 state runner-up finishes.
Wow, 11 runner-ups.
Yes, sir.
Finally got to go.
Correct, yes.
Wow.
Yes, and individually, I believe we're at 41 individual state champs, 76 regional champs, 184 district champs. So we've been very blessed and fortunate the kids that have come through. I mean, they make me look good. So
I tell you what, Coach, with a resume like yours, you need an agent? I might be able to move you on to college, man, with a resume like this. Wow, and I didn't know I was talking to such an accomplished person when I used to talk to you at the volleyball games.
Well, there's a lot of people that have helped me have the success that I've had. It's not a one-man show by any means. There's club coaches, there's community members that have stepped up, and most importantly, the kids, the time and effort they put into it to make it what it is today.
That's what I've always said too, Coach. You know, we the figureheads, but it ain't never been a one-man show.
Correct.
It ain't never been a one-man show. It takes everybody to make this thing happen. So, tell me what makes each one of these kids special, Coach.
Okay. So it's funny because I was thinking about that when I was coming in. I didn't know if you were going to ask that question or not. Right. So I'll start with Landon.
Okay.
Landon is my Allen Iverson.
Okay. I just
because he's like, practice? What? Practice? But this dude shows up and it's game time and it is on. Gotcha. Like you don't have anything. You sit back and watch the show. And so that would probably sum up Landon for me right there. He's always got a smile on his face, but that's Landon in a nutshell. Zeke is our silent assassin.
Okay.
He doesn't speak much. He just kind of observes a lot, and then he goes out there, and the best thing that someone could do for us is make him upset. Yeah. Because his demeanor changed. He's like the Hulk almost at that point, because he turns it on. He's such a nice kid, but when he gets hit or whacked or something that he doesn't like,
So don't piss you off.
Correct.
Nah, don't
Because
do
hey,
that.
hey,
Don't
I
do
can sit back in my coaching chair with some popcorn and just watch. We're gonna win.
Right.
I'm not even worried about it.
Don't even need any motivational speeches or nothing.
Nothing.
Say, man, okay.
So yeah, he's not a man of
don't
many
do that.
words, but he takes care. And Isaac down there, he is the happy-go-lucky, likes to dance and have a good time while he's out there, put on a show. Never lets the stage get too big for him. He wrestles the same if it's a JV match or the state championship. Like it doesn't get to him. He's just kind of there and does what he does. And you know, that's the reason he has 3 state titles so far.
3.
Man, wait a minute. So you just let him make it to your freshman year. Say, okay, I'm gonna let y'all go on. But after that, my sophomore, junior, senior year.
No, he's only a junior. He's gonna get 4.
Whoa,
He's gonna get
whoa.
4.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you were a senior, man. Let me take that back. Let me roll that back. Roll that back. Okay, that weight division, you probably gonna wrestle same weight division maybe next year or go up?
I'm gonna go up.
Oh yeah, you just running through this weight division,
Yeah.
right? So you say, okay, I get you. I got it. Coach, see how I want to word this question. Because you've answered one of them that I had written down there for you. How many state titles? We know one, but we got 17 district titles is what I heard.
Yes,
And I just threw that number out as I was messing around. I didn't know you had 17. You have an assistant coach?
Yes, I have 2 assistant coaches.
2 assistant coaches?
Yes, Coach Valentine, or they call him Coach Tito, and then Coach Trussell.
So what do they do to kind of lighten your load for you?
Tito he's a younger guy, so he is I guess more hip with the kids. So
Okay. You need that.
yeah, it's a good balance. It's a good balance. He knows all about the latest video games to the latest things, and I have I mean, it sounds like a foreign language to me when they're talking sometimes. And so he balances out the age, and he's a worker. He's not a clock watcher. He's a guy that's gonna wait till the job gets done to go home.
Gotcha.
And so those are hard to find these days.
Yeah, I want to praise them too, because if they're part of this process,
They are.
we want to give everybody the shine that needs to get it, Coach.
Yeah, and then Coach Trussell is he's a great observer of the kids and their demeanor. He can read a kid if he's having a good day or bad day, needs a hug, talk to. He is excellent at that job.
That's great. We need one of those.
Yes.
So, Coach, you might need to go over and talk to Landon today. He came in. He doesn't seem like himself.
Yep.
Yep. So, yep. That's
He
right.
has, hasn't he? He's a good dude.
But have you ever seen the Allen Iverson's explanation for that video about him saying? Have you ever seen that about practice? And we sitting there talking about practice. Have you ever seen it?
He was like, I'm MVP of the world, and y'all up here talking about practice.
But it was really taken out of context, because he was saying, we just lost in the NBA Finals a game. I'm here to talk to you, and y'all want to talk about practice.
Yeah.
You see, it's a little different feel to it than, man, practice. I don't want to practice. That's not what he was saying. He was saying, I'm interviewing you guys are interviewing me right now. In a game I just lost. I'm upset, and his best friend got killed earlier that week. And y'all want to talk about practice? Makes a little different. Takes a little different tone to it, doesn't it? Yeah, I was just watching a special on him the other day, and he was talking about that. And my wife had never seen it, and she and I was talking about it. She said, I never knew that it wasn't about actual, and he had been late to practice, but that wasn't what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Or that's what they wanted to talk about, when in fact it was a more important issue out there. We just lost the game in the NBA Finals. All right, let me start with you guys. Let's see what y'all can tell me. And I'm sure each one of you guys got into wrestling for a different reason, maybe. It may be the same, I don't know, but we're going to find out. We're going to start with you. What was your why? What was the thing that attracted you to becoming a wrestler? It could have been my friends did it. It could be my dad was a great wrestler and I wanted to be one. What was it for you?
So at the time when I was like a little kid, I was real close to my cousin. And my cousin, he was wrestling. And there was a girl on our soccer team that we were playing for that was wrestling for the same team. And my cousin told me we were wrestling. I thought it was WWE. And at the time, like, I'm little, so I'm thinking I'm finna be John Cena on the mat. Like, and then I get in the wrestling room and it's nothing like WWE, but I keep showing up and then I just end up falling in love with the sport.
So how many years have you been participating? What year are you in high school?
2026.
Oh, you graduated in 26, so
yeah.
you're a sophomore now?
Yes, sir.
So how many years have you wrestled?
13.
Wow, okay, long time. All right, the silent assassin, what was your why?
I was playing football when I was little, and a couple of my friends were wrestling. They had told my dad about it and how it helps with football. And so my dad had put me in it, and then I've been wrestling ever since. And then my why recently changed. Now I'm wrestling to serve God with my talents. And so, yeah, that's my why now.
Okay. 3-time state champion. What's your why? Want to win 4?
That's the plan.
Okay.
I started in jiu-jitsu first, and I had a coach there that kind of moved in, and we started like kind of doing the practices there at the gym. And it was originally just like, you know, like in the future, like if I were to have like a family to like be able to protect them and stuff, like if something did come down, then I have like that ability to protect them. But then we started like getting involved more and more into like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and so we just like kept going with it, and then I'm here now.
Okay, now that leads me to my next question. When did you know that you were pretty good at it?
Probably since, I wouldn't say youth, probably like going into high school, like start of high school, because youth, I've always been pretty like there. I didn't really do like much national tournaments, so I wasn't like able to like rank myself like too high against like the best of the best. But like now that I'm in high school, I feel like my potential like exceeded like what it was like back then.
And so how many years have you been wrestling?
Like
Since you were
11, 12, since I was like 5 or 6.
11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
Same for you, I forgot to ask you that. How many years you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling like 12 years too.
Okay, y'all vets.
Yeah, we've been here for a while.
So same question for you. When did you know you had it?
Kind of like freshman year, I had made the team, and I had wrestled at state and got 4th. So I kind of knew I was.
So
I
as
was
a
pretty good.
freshman, I know you had to be on varsity to win state because you didn't win it as a 9th grade
Yeah.
on freshman team. So you made varsity as a freshman.
Yes.
So coach, you getting a man young and shoot, after a while you just turn the cruise control on, huh? Let him go. But your wives, go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on while you was explaining.
Well, just freshman year, I had placed at state, so I kind of knew I was up there, and I knew I wasn't bad at the sport, so I knew I was decent. I was
So if I
pretty
got
good.
to state as a freshman,
Yeah.
and I took a day off or 2, now I'm gonna work a little harder than, okay.
I knew I was pretty good.
Okay. So have you been a state champion yet?
No, not yet. I'm looking for it next year.
Okay, so how did you finish this year?
I had got 4th.
Okay, but you contributed to those points. to
Yes,
get there.
I was. Everyone was the reason for that trophy right there.
Right. When did you know?
God gave me the ability to show people who he was at a young age. So I was 6 years old winning Tulsa Nationals and not even knowing. I'm just wrestling. I'm just out there wrestling, serving God with my talents. But yeah, he gave me the ability to show people who he was at a young age. Yes, sir.
You was gonna be good at this.
Yes, sir.
So how did you do this year?
I got 4th this year.
Points.
Yes, sir. That backside was killing him. I'm not gonna lie.
Because from what I learned from Coach Brian, because I am a little naive when it comes to wrestling. I know the football, I know the coach basketball in high school for 44 years, so I know all that. How hard was it, Coach, for you to watch these young guys come up a little short?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard because we've had the ability to win it a couple of times, and a lot of times it was self-inflicted wounds, I guess. Grades, not making weight, just a couple things like that. And so once we got everyone there, and we got everyone at the state that was going to be at state, and the team we had, I felt confident. So a quick funny story about Zeke there.
Okay.
So Zeke lost in the semis, and Zeke likes to ask questions. Like he's kind of like, hey, why is this? Why is that? So we were out in the hallway talking, and he just looked at me and he goes, can we really win this? I'm like, Zeke. So I broke it down weight class by weight class to him, and his eyes lit up, and he went skipping down the hallway. and it really changed his demeanor, because he was like, we can do this. And then I think that really helped, because Zeke believing kind of fed throughout the whole team then.
Gotcha.
And like, if Zeke's believing, we can do this.
Plus, he's a little quiet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that really helped out.
So before we came into the studio, Coach, you and I was outside talking, and you was telling me about this ritual that you guys have before the state tournament. I'd like you to share that with everybody.
Yeah, so we really do. We have a ritual before the season starts, and then we have mindset training, because we're big believers that our mind is going to take us through. Physically we're gifted, but a lot of times the mental aspect is what is going to make the difference. So we start off with s'mores night, and so which sounds fun and stuff, but it gets pretty deep. So we're around a camp, we're around a fire, making s'mores, and we take turns basically telling the worst thing that's ever happened to us in our life. So, which is hard. It's hard for me, and I know it's hard for the kids. But sometimes you got to do the hard stuff in order to get it out. And basically we do that because when we fall back, when things go wrong or don't go our way during the season, it's not that big of a deal. Like, losing is not that big of a deal. Like, look what we've already gone through. And so it puts everything in perspective, because we don't care about the kids. We don't love them because they win or lose. We just care about them as a person. And how can we develop them as characters? And and these kids are they believe in Jesus. I mean, they have a strong faith. It's what we talk about a lot. We pray before our mates, and we're going to be who we are. And so that kind of kicks off the season. And then each week we meet and do some mindset training. And then the night before the state tournament, that Thursday in the hotel, we get together, and we call it burning of the ships. And that comes from the conquistadors. When they go invade countries, they would get off the ship and they'd burn them, because there was only two things that could happen then. They're either going to win or they're going to die trying. There was no plan B. And so what we do is they write down all their fears. And we talk about it throughout the year, how fear is fake. It's real. It's not there. It's made up. And so we put all our fears down, and then we debunk all our fears on why this is just made up. And then on the next sheet of paper, we write down everything why we're going to be successful. All the hard work, and it's got to be specific. It can't just be hard work. It's got to be, I got up early in the morning and did this, or I sacrificed this, and so they really understand the deep meaning of what they've invested in themselves and their team. And then after we get that done, we go outside and we take the fears and we burn them, and we keep the sheet that has why we're going to be successful, and the kids can bring them to the tournament. So when they're having little doubts in their head, they can look down that sheet and be like, no, this is why I'm successful. Little reminders. We also call it reset. When they're in matches and we see a demeanor change, they'll hear us yell reset, reset, and whatever their word is to make them focus. And it's amazing to watch their body language change. Like when they hit their reset, it's like, okay, it's good, it's over. It's short memory, move on. And I think those are some of the things that we do that's different than a lot of people. I think a lot of coaches and programs put in more worried about the mat and the wrestling, and we worry about that, but we understand there's a bigger aspect to it. And if we build the bond, these kids care about each other. Like when they would come off the mat, hey, did I help the team? Or, hey, what do I need to do to help the team? Like they are more concerned about others than themselves. And that's hard in today's society.
Well, Coach, after this show airs, there's going to be some others. If you're smart, you pay attention to winners. And as a high school coach, and even when I was coaching in college, I always wanted to be around those guys who have done it, because it has to be something that they may be doing a little different than what everybody else is doing, because they succeed.
Yeah, you got to be learning at all the time. I'm trying to learn every day, and from the people around me. And I think if you put yourself around successful people that are positive, good things are going to happen.
No question, Coach. I remember one of the meetings I was in at TCU, and our head coach came in and said, because all the coach had to divide the scouts against our opponents for the year. He said, who wants Kentucky? And I was being right out of high school, you know, I felt like the other assistant coaches was gonna jump on that, you know, I want to do Kentucky. Nobody raised their hand. I said, Coach, I want Kentucky, because now I get to study the mind of Rick Pitino.
Yep.
And that was my scout. And I felt so good because when you are the guy who has the responsibility of presenting the scout team and stuff, you pretty much run practice. Man, I felt so much a part of the team and so much a part of the success against some of the things that they were gonna do. And like I say, when you and I were just outside talking, I've learned so much that I possibly could have used, and some of the things that have already been on our show. We had a mental health therapist on our show, and you said some of the same things. She said, you know, she gets caught between being mom and, because she got kids that are in school and they playing sports, and she have these two circles. They draw a circle, draw two circles, circle inside a circle. And then in the circle on the outside, these are all the things out of your control. List all these things out of your control. And list all the things that are in your control within a smaller circle. And then go back and see why this is bothering you so much.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what you guys do. You burn your fears, you get rid of them. And out of the way, because I do like that no plan B, Coach. We're gonna win.
Yeah, we're going to win together, or we're not.
Yeah, right. So, man, that is, Coach, that's real good. I wish I could have had that to you. I'm kind of a guy that likes to get those one-liners and stuff like that to take to my practices. Wish I would have known that part of it back when I was coaching. But anyway, that's no here nor there. Let's get back to these guys and find out a little bit more about them. So, finished fourth, won the tournament, right? In state, in wrestling, there are 6 places, right?
Correct.
At the state meet. You point on all those 6 places. So what was the total amount of points that you guys earned in this last state championship when we won the state?
182.
That's kind of hard to do, Coach?
Yeah, that's a lot of points, yes.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of people finishing in the top 6.
Correct. And the other way you can score points for the tournament is if you get a major decision. So if you win by 8 points or more, you get an extra point. If you win by 15 or more, which is called the tech fall, you get a 1.5 points. But if you pin them, you get +2. So we talk about scoring points. Like, don't worry about the score. Just score as many points as you can because it helps the team out.
Right.
So instead of backing off, I'm going to win this thing 7-0. Well, if I get another takedown, I got 9. Now I get an extra point for my team.
Right.
And so there's some strategy in there, or it might be the opposite. I'm losing 7-0. I can't give anything else up because it's easy. Like, who cares if I lose by 7 or 9? Well, it makes a difference, and the kids know and understand that. So they always have that extra fight in them at all times.
So of those 11 state titles where you were runner-ups, how close were you to winning it, point-wise? Everybody's laughing.
Yeah, we're laughing.
Close.
Close. I mean, within 5 to 10 points, probably 4 or 5 of them.
Okay, well, we can't worry about them now. We're gonna cherish.
That's right, yeah.
We're gonna cherish this one.
Yes.
And
Well, hey, if that stuff wouldn't have happened, who knows where we'd be at today? Like, I've never got to question the past because, I mean, God's got a plan for it. I mean, and whatever happens, there's a reason for it.
Right.
And so we just move on.
Okay. So, have all 3 of you guys made it to state every year since you've been wrestling in high school?
No. No.
Okay, so this is just your second year, though.
Yes, sir.
So you didn't go as a freshman,
No, sir.
but you're here now.
Yes, sir.
You're here to stay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I went as a freshman, sophomore, and then I went again this year.
All 3, and well, of course, you got all 3 goals to prove it, right?
Yeah.
Well, Zeke's a 3-time state placer, and that's tough to do, place
3
consistently.
times.
Yes.
Now, was all yours in the same weight class?
Yes, sir. Same weight, same place. all 3 years.
So that means next year we gotta do something different
Yeah,
to get off this.
something's gotta change.
That's what I used to ask my players all the time. I said, guys, what did you learn? Because like my last year in coaching was this past 2023. I retired this summer of 2023. And prior to that, I always asked the guys, I said, look, when you go home for the summer and you come back, what are you gonna do different than you did the year before? Because if you come back the same, if you do everything you did the same the summer before, that's all the results I can expect. What we did, get to the third round in the playoffs. Well, everybody went on, worked a little bit harder, and in my last year that we made it to the Final Four, and we lost to the team who won the state title. So I felt good about it, even though I wanted the gold. I didn't want the bronze one.
Yeah.
See, y'all don't know what that looked like. It's the same trophy.
Nah, wait.
That medal is a little
It's
different.
gold. It's
That
gold.
medal is a little different, baby. And once you taste the gold, that's
You
all
want more?
You want more gold, man. Why go to silver? Why go to bronze, right?
There's no going back.
So I tell you what, I'm gonna go and mark this down I'm gonna write it on my hand in my erase, but I'm gonna remember it. Next year this time, all four of us gonna meet back up here,
Same time next year.
same time next year,
Yes, sir.
talking about, I'm about to get another stand to put 2 trophies up there
Yeah.
so that we've done it back to back.
Back to back.
Has any Arlington wrestling team ever won back-to-back state?
No.
So let's go and be the first.
Yes.
That's
Because
what I was-
we're the only team that have won a state title in wrestling in Arlington. It's the second UIL one.
Wow. Okay, so I'm okay. I'm gonna hold y'all to it.
No, we'll
Okay,
get it.
we-
We'll
we
get
gonna
it.
get it?
We'll get it. Yeah.
Okay,
We
let's
can do that.
All right, let's do that again then. We kind of talked about a lot of different things that I had written down in a certain order, but we've already discussed them. So let me find out. Let me ask you, any questions for me before I go to, I have a question I'm gonna ask Coach here in just a second.
Question for you.
Any questions for me?
Are you a coach?
Retired.
For what team?
I was at DeSoto, my last job. Yeah.
How many years?
I was at DeSoto for only 3, but I coached for 44. 44 years, I won 2 state titles.
For
And-
basketball?
Yeah, basketball at Dallas Lincoln.
Um,
And been to 5 Final Fours with 3 different schools and 3 different geographical areas, meaning I took a team from the inner city to the Final Four, rural, and suburbs. So all 3 areas where a person could live, each school that I coached at in those areas, we were able to get to the Final Four. So I know a little bit about winning.
yeah.
Yeah. So, no question for me? Coach, let me ask you a question. So when you walked in, and I probably already know the answer to this. You walked in this year and you met with your wrestlers for the first time, for the first day for this particular year.
Yes.
Did you know then what we know now, that you could be a possible state champion?
100%.
100%. Good.
There's no doubt in my mind.
We got in trouble the first day of practice.
What happened?
I think we didn't clean up the locker room. We had to do 200 burpees the first day.
You got y'all all in shape in one day.
Well, it's the paying attention to detail, the little things that matter.
We used to say this, the little things are the big things.
Yeah.
So,
If you can't do the little things, then you definitely can't do the big things.
okay. Why you so cool, man? You the boy. You know, Coach, man. You know, I'm just a sophomore. I'm here kicking it, got 4th. I'm about to win Mill State title.
Yeah.
See, I had Seguin's wrestler on, Eshawn Total,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Had him on. He didn't come because he was sick, but his coaches came, both the varsity and his assistant came, and we did the show anyway, and we celebrated him and all that good stuff. But we wanted to make sure that we celebrated you guys. Now, the difference in what he and his school did and what y'all did was he won an individual gold.
He's cool, yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
won
Eshawn
individuals and a team gold.
Yeah, we actually had 6 state champs, 4 boys and 2 girls. And our girls program, because we're all together,
Right?
was 3rd in the state. So the girls are right there with us. We're going to try to get those girls to get some state team titles.
So, like I said, when I sat up here, I just felt like I was amongst winners. It feels good to be here. So, Coach, did you know You said absolutely so. Absolutely, you knew that you had an opportunity to win the state, right?
Yes,
And you knew you had some state champions within your team.
correct. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about wrestling, it's an individual sport, and so we're able to practice year round. And so, like when in basketball, like you say, hey, you guys got to, what are you going to do this summer? Well, these guys are with me all summer. So I can see their growth, and I can see what they're putting in. And so I knew if we took care of business, did the right things, made good choices, there's no reason.
Yeah, you need to copyright your model, Coach, man. 17 district titles, 11 runner-ups. Just off the top of my head from what I just learned, 11 runner-up, 1 state title, 6. How many guys he said he had this year?
Six.
Six guys
4 boys, 2 girls.
2 girls.
and 2 girls.
5 other state placers.
Man, that's awesome. You guys got anything else? We all good? Well, I want to say I'm proud to have you on my show. I will be bragging about you. Share this stuff on your social media outlets. Get it out there. Let people know what we're doing, because we are trying to showcase this talent in this area. And I'm gonna speak on it. I think a lot of times a sport like wrestling doesn't get the attention that it needs, and that's why I want to use my platform to get you guys more publicity.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No
we
problem.
appreciate it. No, we appreciate you having us.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Coach.
Hey, I'm your host, Coach Richard Bacon. This is the Passion Project. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.